think I have a real fear of getting older. I am closer to 50 than I am to 40, and I probably shouldn't be out buying stuff like that. But man, if you've never ridden one, these things are awesome. As a kid, I grew up in a small town, way out in the country, and all we had to do was ride dirt bikes, go-karts, four-wheelers, and all I've ever tried to do since I had to move away from the country when I was about 13 was to get back to it. I have owned motorcycles, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, you name it, I've had it, but it's been a few years, and when the opportunity for this one come across, I just couldn't pass it up. Do I need it? I don't need it. Is it bad for my recent back surgery? Absolutely. But when I'm healed and I'm ready to get on it, it's gonna be a good time. Now I just gotta get one or two more so I can take Sharon and the kids with us. So let's talk a little bit about the purchase of this. I didn't set out looking for this. This was another 100% impulse buy. I was over at my sister's house doing one of the worst things in the world and fixing a leaky toilet. And I needed a screwdriver. So I went out into her garage, got the screwdriver, walked back in the house and said, "Hey, whose four-wheeler sitting out there?" And she said, "Well, that's your nephew's." And I said, "Well, why don't you text him and see how much he wants for that thing?" He gave me a price, I accepted it, here it is. But there's problems with that story. And here's one of those life lessons that I should know by now. I don't know why we made this mistake. We set the price on what we were gonna pay. We went down to the bank. The bank counted out the money with the machine, the teller counted it, put it in an envelope. We went and got back in the truck. Next day, we gave that money to my nephew to pay him. And not too long after that, he texted me and he said, "Hey, you're $200 short." And I was like, you've got to count that money again. Something's going on. The bank counted it twice. We never opened it. It's got to be there. So he repeatedly counted this money. And as far as we know, as it turns out, we're $200 short. So Sharon goes to the bank and they look into it and they don't find that the teller's drawer was over. They don't know of any error. So now they had to open an investigation. So in the meantime, I'm out a certain amount of money, the amount that I paid for this. My nephew is $200 short of what I told him I would pay. So we're in this weird situation. It's family. I'm gonna take care of family, of course. But if the bank doesn't come through, that means that I'm gonna end up having to pay more money, $200 extra for something that I've already bought. So it's gonna cost me $200 more for him to break even. And we still don't know what happened at the bank. So where does the fault lie? We don't know. We're gonna make it right. It's not worth family disruption over $200. But the moral is, count your money. Listen to Kenny Rogers. Don't count it while you're sitting at the table, but count your money. All I had to do was open that envelope and do a double count, but we didn't. So, lesson learned on our part. Should have known that by now. We've kicked ourselves around enough about it. Dogs, crazy. I don't know if you can hear them or not, but they play kind of mean. So what we're gonna do now, this is not in perfect condition. There is some work that needs to be done to it. So we're gonna take a quick look around, point out some of those things. So let's start up here at the front. First, let's start with the handlebars. Broken lever. Not that big of a deal because there's a new set of levers that come with it. Just need to be put on. Second, probably can't see it, but if you're looking down, I think the handlebars are bent. Might just be up underneath here. We need to straighten up or it could be the bars themselves are bent. Either way, not that big of a deal. Next, you come around, and that whole fender, for some reason, a dog decided to chew on that, which I'm not worried about that, because all I'm going to do is cut this down this way, reshape it a little bit, and I'll make it match over here on this side. So you probably won't ever notice. You can tell they've done work to it. It's missing all the factory light right here, and it's got that light on it, which is bright, and it's got that light on it, which is also bright. But I'll show you here in a little bit. Switch is real loose, and the lights will come on and off. So I think it's wired a little bit wrong. Still, not that big of a deal. Then, up underneath the fenders, you see this body mount right here is broken off and held partially with zip ties. We'll have to fix that. And it's the same thing on the other side, where this is bent and zip tied up and not on there in the right way. You can see it's out of place here. So what this causes is the whole front end to just shake and wobble. Still not that big. It's a few bolts. It's heating up a bracket. I can live with that. Another lesson: if you're buying a four-wheeler or a quad, ATV, UTV, check the VIN number. Before I paid, I made sure that this was not stolen. Not saying that my nephew would have stole it, but could have been stolen before he got it. But this one come back clean. Everything is good. Also, make sure that you insure them. We had four four-wheelers stolen out of our barn when we were first moving into the house and having it remodeled. We brought the four-wheelers over so we could play in the field. And apparently somebody saw us and they knew we weren't living here and they wanted them more than us. I thought it fell under the homeowner's policy at the time, and obviously it didn't. It would have fallen under its own policy. Only thing that's covered under the homeowners is if it's an ATV or UTV that is used to work on the land or maintain the land, then it could be covered. But so we were out about $4,000 worth of four-wheelers at that time. So the only thing really back here is this chain. It is adjusted all the way back, but it has a tremendous amount of slop in it. So I've ordered a new chain, and I ordered some tire fix the flat type stuff, because we have a flat tire up front. Makes it wobble a little bit, but overall, got a broken light, tail light, which is no big deal. You can find one for under 15 bucks, I think. And they hollowed out the exhaust, so it's super loud. But other than that, there's nothing that I found that causes alarm. I get 2 extra new back tires with it. I just haven't picked them up yet. Actually forgot to pick them up when I picked up the four-wheeler. This lever's bent, but like I said, it still works. This is a little bit bent up in here, but you can take some pliers to that and try see the twist on it. But we'll take care of that. It fires right up, everything works, everything runs. Give it a little choke, fire off. I don't like this light up here. I like the light itself, but I don't like it here. I don't like the way they mounted it. It's in the way of the gauges and stuff there. As far as everything else goes, there's only one little tear in the seat. It's right there. And that's about it. Everything else is really nice. I cold started it the other day. It fired right up. In fact, we'll probably do that now. I haven't ran it at all. It's in neutral. Give it some choke. So, fires right up. It's really loud, especially in this garage. So what we're gonna do in this video, I'm gonna go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. I'll probably, get some of the stuff fixed that needs to be fixed. The plastic's flopping around, makes the reverse button not want to work right. So just a little bit of tweaking here and there, and then everything should be just fine. So we'll get started on that. Okay, sorry about that. Got called up, had to take a break for dinner, and then Shelby had to show us her Vote for Pedro shirt, which is always entertaining when she gets up and dances after dinner, so hope you enjoyed that. But in all seriousness, the four-wheeler, I've had it up and down the driveway a couple times. I rode it up and down the road when I first picked it up, but I did just recently have back surgery about 3 months ago, so I can't really get it out and play too hard on it. And we only have the one at the moment, so taking it somewhere, somebody'd have to sit and wait. And the helmet I thought I was going to use, I picked it up the other day and it disintegrated, so got to get new helmets, multiples for everybody, and we'll see how much gear we get just for some weekend riding. But definitely need the helmets, definitely need to get my back time to heal before we get on it and do anything. But we do need to move it to the barn, so that gives us a little bit of an excuse to play on it. Hold on. So that really is about the extent of how much I can ride right now because of my back. It was a long fall I had this year, recovering from that. I don't plan on doing anything that's going to hurt it. Plus it gives us time to work on it, and also gives us time to maybe procure another one so that we can all go. We already have the trailer, already got the truck, get a couple helmets, get some parts, get another one purchased, and then it'll just be another adventure that we can all go on and take you guys along with us. All right, so we got her out in the barn, got the jack out, got fire going. I think we're ready to go. We'll get, probably start up here with the levers, see what we can do with that. It did come with a nice new set of levers. They look like they'll fit. I'm also gonna put some of this on the tires, or in the front tire. This is flat out. Never used it, but we're gonna see how it does since the front tire is flat. We'll see if it holds that one, and then we'll move on to some of the other body parts. Okay, so I gave up on the lever for a little bit. I need to research exactly how to get that off. But I did go ahead and tear the front end off, straightened up the handlebars, mostly. I do believe just the bars themselves are bent now. Maybe a little bit, not enough to worry about. But I did find down here, this tie rod is bent and loose. So I'm gonna take it off next. This tire's a little bit wobbly. You've probably seen me beating on it. You can see where there's a big spot in the rim, but other than that, it's just some, here's where the fender piece I need to fix. And the other one's still on the plastic that is down there. Nothing too bad though, nothing we can't fix, just taking a little bit of time and getting it done. What I was trying to do there, that tie rod linkage right down here, this, let's see if you can see it, this bar, that one was bent, and the steering, mentioned before, the steering was crooked, and I think, I looked down it, I got it all adjusted, just about right with the handlebars straight, so that should be good. So that's one problem fixed and 50 small ones to go. So I've been working on this thing for a couple of days now, and it seemed the further I got into it, the more things I seen that I didn't like, I felt I need to fix. Anytime I spend money on something, I like for it to look nice, like for it to run nice. This would have done the purpose, would have went out and ran through the mud just fine, but I'm gonna go a little bit further with it, and I'll show you what I have done, and then we'll talk about the things that we're planning on doing, or parts I've got ordered. So I got the tire, you guys seen that, got that fixed, straightened out that tie rod down there, I worked on all these brackets up in through here. I don't have anything attached yet, and I'll explain that in a minute. Gave it a little bit of a bath, cleaned it up some. I got the new blue chain on it, that part came in. This went around, little things here and there. I cleaned up some of the parts, the tank and stuff up in behind here, things you don't normally see. Cleaned all that up. I still got quite a bit to do. I've done some surgery here on the zip ties, hold some pieces back on. Seems to work okay. Some Gorilla Glue. So the reason that I'm wrapping this video up now instead of after it's finished is I got parts on order. I got lots of parts on order. I got new brakes on order. I got a new headlight assembly on order. I got a new tail light on order. A couple other things I wanted to do to it, all on order. I still haven't done the clutch side yet because that's a pain, but I'll get to that. But I wasn't going to do all the lights. Like I said, I was just going to ride it. But I cannot stand that light mounted on the handlebars. And the original assembly for the headlight, that light did the job, but I just hated it. I didn't like it. Their wiring was not good. There's a couple wires done and a couple hanging. They had things, different screws in different places. So I got a new headlight assembly coming. That should take care of the front end. This isn't all put together yet, because some of the parts that I'm waiting on all these little clips. I ordered some of those clips to go in there that hold everything together. So once I get that, I'll be able to put the body together. Like I said, all new brake pads going all the way around, because I don't think the brake has enough in it. It works, but not real well. In the back, they're pretty good. But never hurts to put new ones on it or to have spares. So the plan, once I get it going, is to do a reveal of everything that we got done to it and go over all that stuff again. I might ride it a little bit, but I certainly won't be able to ride it the way that I want to ride it. But that time will come, I guarantee it. And we'll take you guys along for all that too. But the big thing is, I live with a house of ladies, my wife and my two of my daughters. And my wife has her motorcycle endorsement, so I shouldn't be anything for her to pick up. She'll pick up on it real fast. But my two daughters, they've ridden four-wheelers before, but nothing with a clutch, so might be pretty interesting to watch that. So hoping for some snow. Hope we can get them out and teach them how to do this stuff in the snow after the parts come in. So I got about a week for that. So that should be really interesting to watch the girls out here in the snow in the field trying to learn how to ride a manual shift four-wheeler. So if you want to see that, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment. If you want to see us do more things like this, let us know. We'll certainly be taking you along on the rides that we go on this and as we hunt for other ones. So hopefully we see you on later videos. Thanks for watching.